Hello friends, do you live in a cold zone and you think you can't grow vegetables in winter? Well, I'm here to tell you otherwise. I live in Northern Virginia, Zone 7, and I have been growing winter vegetables successfully for many years now. So here's a list of the vegetables that you can plant and grow throughout the winter months here in Zone 7. The first crop that I'm going to show you today is this right here. This is cilantro, and it loves to grow in the cool weather months. This cilantro bed was planted in late October, and it has been planted from seed, and I just sprinkle the seeds into the ground. You can see it's very heavily seeded here, and it's not a problem. It just grows well. It stays nice and small like this. In the spring months it grows really tall, and I harvest all of it, make it ice cubes, and put it in the freezer. And I prefer to grow cilantro in the winter months. The second crop that does really well in the winter months are green onions, leeks, and garlic. Let me show you an example of how those are doing right now. This is the garlic I planted in late fall, and now it's coming up like this. And check out how beautiful these are. You can wait for the summer and harvest the whole bulb, or you can cut them here and use them as green garlic, and it's super tasty. This over here is leeks, and this leeks, they just grow all winter long and they don't get tired of growing. So you can just harvest the green shoots and eat them as green onions or as leeks. And here's my green onion patch. This green onion patch has been here for about 3 years now, since I bought this house. And I just harvest one or two, and I harvest it by cutting it by the roots, and they regrow and they just keep coming back every year. So check this out. These are evergreen onions, that's what they're called. You can also grow herbs. This is lavender, and it's doing well. And I also have a rosemary here that is doing very well. This is on its 3rd year here, and I'm thinking about taking some cuttings this year so I can propagate it and move it around my yard. You can also grow bok choy in the winter months. Check out this beautiful bok choy that is here. We have experienced a low of 22 degrees so far already, and it goes down below freezing all the time. And these are just happy right now, and I should harvest them soon, because if it gets below 20 degrees or so, they start getting cold damage and they're no longer edible. You can also grow daikon radishes or just regular radishes, and check out these beautiful radishes that I have in here. I should harvest these soon and make them kimchi, because that's what I grow them for. So radishes, either daikon radishes or regular radishes, do well in the cold weather. These are the regular radishes I'm talking about, and check out the little radish right here. It's looking pretty nice. Pretty good radish right here, and another one right here. Next to that I have my artichoke that is overwintering here. Check that out. This is my 2nd or 3rd year. For this one, it's his 2nd year, but I had another plant that was on its 3rd year this year, but it didn't make it. It died in the summer. But check these out. I'm gonna have some artichokes here in the summer months. How about growing dill or fennel? I have been growing dill for a long time now, and I just keep saving the seeds and I sprinkle them around my yard, and every once in a while I come across a little patch like this. This is perfect to add to salads, or in the summer months you can add them to dill pickles. So tasty. Check out the little patch that I have here. And just to show you, I have cilantro growing everywhere. This was seeded with a little bit of cilantro and radishes and a little spinach growing over there too. And what about lettuce? Last year I noticed that this lettuce was doing really well, so I saved the seeds from this particular one. It was growing over there last year. And this is red sales lettuce, and it does really well in the winter months. Obviously it does not like super cold weather. It gets a little bit of cold damage, but after it gets warm it starts regrowing from the center. So this can keep going all winter long if you let it grow. I had a pretty low success rate on the germination of spinach, but spinach does really well in the winter months. Look at this beautiful spinach that I have here. I have another plant right here, and I have a few others on this bed over here. It just didn't sprout very well for me because I direct seeded the spinach. I do better with spinach when I put it into containers and then I transplant them into the ground itself. How about some kale for dinner? Check out this lacinato kale that I have growing here. I grew it in the spring and it survived all summer. It went through a little bit of a fly infestation. I got it through, and then it made it through fall, and now it's humongous. Let me show you. This is beautiful dinosaur kale, and one leaf of this is probably plenty to get all your nutrients for one day. And behind it I have some collard greens that are super big too. Same story with these. These were planted in the spring of 2023 and they survived, and check out how big it is now. I haven't been harvesting too many, but it grows so much better in the winter months because the bugs do not get to them as they do in the fall and in the summer. And these collard greens here have to be the best ones of them all. Check out the size of these collard greens. These are tree collards, I believe that's what they're called. I got seeds from a friend, a subscriber friend here locally, and she gave me the seeds, and I harvested and I put the seeds into here. I had a few of these growing, but only one has survived so far, and this is the second year here. And check out the trunk on this tree right here. This is a trunk that it has, and this is one plant, and at the bottom it has some suckers, and check out the size of that. Beautiful tree colors. Maybe in the spring months and the summer it will produce more seed pods. I will save those and hopefully start new propagations of it and new plants of it, because I really want that to grow. Technically this is not a vegetable, but this is a hardy orange. This is a citramelo, and I transplanted it into this area in the fall. Maybe I did it in the wrong time, but it is growing. It survived last winter, and last winter we got down to 7 degrees. So I'm fairly confident that this is going to survive. And if it does, it's going to be very happy when the springtime comes. And if you don't have a lot of space in your garden, if you live in a apartment and you have a balcony, you can grow food in containers like this. I grow my green onions in these containers. I also have some curly parsley here and some green onions. And if you plan ahead, you can also have different crops in the ground. These are carrots that I am saving. They are in the ground, and whenever I need a carrot for my cooking, I come out here and I can harvest one of these carrots. I also have some beets that I've left in the ground from the spring and summer, and whenever I need a beet, I can come here and harvest one of these as well. In this beds, I have some collard greens that are transplanted. They were planted in a different area and I moved them here. And check out, they are very happy. And in between them, I have my garlic planting that I did the other day. And you can see them coming up and they're quite happy. So everything that I just showed you is growing without any protection, just growing out in the elements. Zero protection whatsoever, no frost cloths, no nothing. But I do have this beautiful hoop house, and it's just a cheap greenhouse that I bought on Amazon a couple years ago, and people told me those are cheap, they don't last very long, but this one is his third year and it's doing quite well. But let me show you what I'm growing in there. So in the greenhouse, I did not plant a whole lot of things this fall like I usually do, because I was too concerned about my greenhouse that I put up, and that one is my tropical greenhouse. But this greenhouse does not get heated whatsoever, but it does heat up in the sun obviously, and it traps the heat in here. And check out this beautiful this is corn mash. I think that's what I bought it as, but it has cross between other things now, and now it's just the green. It's tasty, it's easy to grow, and I believe when I bought it, it was called corn mash, but corn mash is typically a little bit smaller, so I'm not sure the variety. And check this out, I also have a ton of green onions planted in here. I have so many green onions over there, and I have some more radishes growing in here. These are doing very well. And inside of this, I am testing out a Meyer lemon that I was trying to grow, and I can see that it did not like the cool weather that we had. Look at this, it has killed the top of it, but it looks like this stem right here is still alive. So I'm gonna dig this out and bring it into my tropical greenhouse so that it survives the winter, because it takes a long time to root one of those cuttings. Right over here I have some chard planted, and this chard is very happy. Check out how beautiful this chard is. Tastes pretty good. The taste to me, it's a little bit like dirt or soil, so I'm not super happy. I don't eat it quite often, but it's good. It's a good green to have. I also have mizuna here. This is mizuna. It's like in the mustard family, I believe. And there is a lot of carrots in here as well. I have some tatsoi growing. I have some red leaf lettuce, more mizuna, and in this thing I have a patch of carrots that I need to come in here and check out how they're doing. How about this daikon radish that's growing in here? It's huge. In here I have some spinach growing still, and this large mustard green. I believe this is a mustard green, and these are super tasty when you cook them down. And in here I have a plethora of miner's lettuce. This is a wild green from California, and it tastes pretty delicious, nice and succulent. So this year I didn't plant too much into my little greenhouse here, but it's so well, but because I let everything go to seed in here, it self-seeds itself. And then I also come in and plant a few things as well. Come spring, I'm gonna get serious about planting more food in here, because I can stretch the season by about 3 to 4 weeks extra by planting inside of this hoop house. And I figure once the hoop house, the plastic deteriorates even farther, I'll just buy hoop house plastic and I'll make a hoop house with the plastic. And this is my tropical greenhouse, and I do put heat into this greenhouse, so this one is a little bit like cheating. Everything in the greenhouse seems to be doing quite well right now, and I'm pretty happy with how it's working. I made a video on how the things are doing in there, so if you want to watch that, just go check out my channel and check out what I'm growing inside that greenhouse. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.